Hey everyone, it's been a while since I made these videos, and the reason why was I was gonna wait for the meta to change, and the meta has changed to Fire Adon, Flame Chun-Li, Street Poison, and Rich Honda. But I was also waiting to get into Evil Abyss, and no rhyme or reason, I'm not sure how to get into Evil Abyss, but at the 1 year mark, I finally got in. So it was like a couple of days ago that I got in. I was just playing. I was just like, wait a second, why is everyone's score so high? Oh my, I'm in Evil Abyss. So you know what? Now that I'm in Evil Abyss, I think it's time to start making these videos again. But we only make these videos if we are number one. But hey, check this out. Currently, I am number one. Now this is North America region, so I think this is all of North America basically. So currently, I'm number one by just a narrow margin. Everyone in the Evil Abyss are very high level. All their characters are pretty strong. You cannot even get in unless I think there's like a minimum threshold. I don't even know what that threshold is. But as you can see from my scores, I'm doing pretty well. So we're gonna go over the strategy and how to actually do really well on this boss. Her name is Cyra. I'm sorry, not Cyra. Cyra's another boss. Cyra, and I think this is the most toxic boss in the game. She has the highest amount of random elements, very high RNG, and I'll explain this as we do these fights. Unfortunately, because her RNG is so high, I ran out of attempts on this boss fight. In other words, if you click on Crusade and it says, do you wish to spend 50 more gems to reset the challenge count? Number of resets remaining this period, 0. It starts at 99, by the way. I think it starts at 100. And you hit confirm, nothing happens. So basically, I blew 500 attempts on this boss. What's funny is, if you look at my battle report, my highest score, 1.89 billion, I actually got that in like the 15th attempt. 15th attempt. And I thought to myself, oh wait, I could do this again. And then I never did it again, really. That was my highest score. So out of 500 attempts, I've only got 1.8 billion 4 times. Everything else was like 1.6 and lower. And I'll explain why. Why is these scores are so inconsistent. Like I can get 1.8, I can get 1.6, and I can get like 1.3 or something like that. But since we can't fight her anymore and show you the replay, we're just gonna show you the hold on, because it's a Vega event right now. We can go to etiquette training, and there are 3 bosses that you can practice on right now. So if you fight these bosses, it's basically free practice. You don't have to spend gems to fight these bosses. Just turn off your battle lust, turn off any of these extra bonuses, so that it's basically the same fight without the bonuses. So okay, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna run this replay off of my phone. Okay, this is actually a live run that I recorded. The reason being because I can't really talk and explain and play at the same time. It's especially on this fight, there's a lot going on. And there's a lot of times I'm gonna have to explain and pause it and explain what's going on, especially with all the RNG elements in this boss fight. So first thing is we have Fire Adon, Street Poison, Flame Chun-Li, Rich Honda. That's the meta right now. If you want to get a really high score on any of the boss teams, it's basically this team right now. I'm using Fei Long as an assist because he adds more fire damage to the entire team. And we're using Trendy Elena as an assist on Adon because she gives you 20% more damage, I think. Same as Evil Ryu, except I don't have Evil Ryu, so I'm using Trendy Elena. We also have the EX moves Cami Vega. One of the best EX moves in the game. Gives you a free bar, and the bar that you use it doesn't give you a free bar. It makes it so your next super is free. So that combo is free basically, and it makes it so that combo does less damage, which is what you want. You kind of want to do less damage in the beginning, especially if it doesn't cost meter. So you build flame penetration stacks from Flame Chun-Li. The next EX move is EX Virgil, most broken EX move in the game by far. I'll explain why. And then we have Breath of Rage, probably the highest DPS EX move that we have. There are a few other ones, but I think this is the best one. So let's start the fight. What we have here is the beginning of the fight. The boss is gonna do some things. Everything the boss does is RNG, and if you roll the bad RNG, you're probably gonna have to restart anyways. So what happens right here is this boss does this shockwave. This shockwave will drain your meter. Right now I'm at like 1.25, 1.3 maybe bars of meter. And when this boss does a shockwave, I'm also gonna activate EX Vega because might as well, right? Why not, right? But the problem with this is, sometimes you lose 50% meter, sometimes you lose 10% meter, sometimes you lose 90% meter. Now, I feel like I lost a lot of meter at times. Sometimes you might get lucky and not lose a lot. So the RNG there is kind of random. Here's the second RNG test right here. This beam that Cyra shoots, this beam, it might put a stack of weaken on you. This stack of weaken, what it does is, here, take a look. So if you look at Street Poison has like this little like pink purple radioactive symbol on her status icon bar or whatever. And what that does is it makes her do 15% less damage. Now, I don't care about her because she doesn't do damage. But if that went on Fire Adon, you pretty much need to restart because 15% damage is a lot to lose. So that's the second RNG check. The third RNG check here is this next move that she does. What this next move does is she's going to do this explosion. And this explosion puts this little fist icon on you. So if you look at Poison right now, again, Poison, she has this fist icon. What it does is whenever she activates a super or a combo, it silences everyone else around her, except her. Actually, I might even silence her. I'm not even sure. But either way, if it goes on Rich Honda, you might as well restart because my combo revolves around starting with Rich Honda and then continuing off. But if he starts, you can't really finish anything else because everyone else is silenced. So I passed that RNG check because it went on Poison instead. So everyone's silenced. And now we continue with the combo. Okay. But because Chun-Li's in tag, she doesn't get silenced. So check this out right here. Now look at everyone's life right here. The point in every boss fight is to get your HP as low as possible before the attack that would kill you. What I mean by that is, on the attack that will kill you, you will use EX Virgil so you don't die. But on the attack before that, on the attack that the boss does before that, you want to get to the point where you do so much damage to the boss, or you put so many debuffs on the boss, that you are basically doing the maximum that you can to the boss without dying. Okay, so right now, like everyone's life is fairly low except for Richana because he's a tank. But this is the kind of point you want to be at. You want to apply flame penetration debuffs with Chun-Li, add some flame firewall fire stacks on Cyra, while not dying. So at this point, we're pretty good, all right? Fire Adon doesn't have a weaken debuff. I have a decent amount of meter. Everyone's alive. So at this point, you want to spam as many combos as possible. The one thing I like doing about EX Virgil, so check this out. What I like doing here, okay? Boss is charging one attack. Whenever I activate EX Virgil, I always activate it right when I press Street Poison. Because if the boss does an AoE, it will hit everyone, including Flame Chun-Li. Okay, so why you want to do that is because it will, first of all, EX Virgil saves your entire team. So you're not going to die. The second thing it does is that for every person that would have died, you get meter. I know, it's weird. It doesn't say that anywhere, but that's how it works. So because I want to throw Flame Chun-Li into this with EX Virgil, I get a little bit of extra meter. So right now I have four fighters in the floor. And my bar just went up. It just goes up. And they all live. There's another problem with EX Virgil is if you have Rich Honda at Fighting Spirit 30, that he sometimes does this clap move and it kills your entire team. Good thing I'm lucky that I got EX Virgil level 2, so it kind of heals my team a little bit so that the clap won't kill him. But that's another thing, right? So another thing about EX Virgil is that because you have EX Virgil, you basically live longer. You basically get another cycle. And the thing about Fire Adon is that a lot of his damage ramps up exponentially towards the end. So the fact that you can live a little bit longer towards the end means that a lot of that damage is going to come from just that. So, and another thing here, that beam that I just get hit by, it applies weaken again. So if you look at Fire Adon right here, right there, underneath the Breath of Rage icon above his head, he has one stack of weaken, which is not what we want, but that's the RNG check. That's like the 4th or 5th RNG check. I'm not even sure what number we're at anymore. So he's going to do 50% less damage, unfortunately. Everyone's still alive because Virgil saved them all. I activated Breath of Rage, so we're now doing a massive amount of damage, and we're just going to spam whatever meter left we have. And the only reason why I said in the beginning that the first RNG check, where we want to make sure we don't lose too much meter, is because of this right here. This right here, this final bar is very important because it's the last super that Fire Adon is going to do. It's the most amount of damage you probably spit out. And we need it to keep Toxic Love from Street Poison up to 5. It's very hard, actually, to keep it up to 5 throughout the entire fight. Because it can easily drop from some random trigger, some random death, some random EX, right? The game slows down here and there every now and then. So it's very easy for the toxic levels to drop. So this is why we need that little bit of meter as much as we can so that we can keep toxic level up. All right, and here comes the last amounts of damage, and then Cyra blows everyone up, everyone dies. We're at 3 seconds, doesn't matter, we did all our damage already, okay? And the total damage we got in the end on this event, right? Remember, no boost, no battle lust, is 1.623 billion. Now, it's not 1.85, 1.89, because we got the weakened stack at the end. Now, if we didn't get the weakened stack, it would have been 1.8, okay? Now, the reason why this says 3.3 is because I was testing this with the battle lust. So, this is how the fight works. All right, there's multiple RNG checks. We need the perfect combination of units and the perfect RNG, really. Let's go back to the Crusade really quick. So if you look at the scores right here, 1.894 minus 15%, or minus 15% at the end, is like 1.6 something billion, right? So it makes sense how I got 1.6 the other time. And it makes sense how I got 1.6 all these other times, right? Because, well, here, 1.6 all these other times, because I got one stack of weaken. But if you look at everyone else's scores, they got 1.6, 1.5. They probably failed the RNG check. I mean, it took me a lot of tries just to get this 1.89 billion. So that's how this fight works. We still got about 18 minutes before the tally results happen. I don't think anyone's gonna beat this. But that's how the fight goes. And you know what? Next fight we got is Animoy, I think. Oh, I hate this boss. I hate this boss. Not as much as Cyra, but I do hate this boss. So hopefully I'll get #1 on this again. I really do like competing on Crusades. It's actually kind of fun for me. Even though the rewards are pretty pitiful, that's not the point. The point is to stay at the top. That's what I really want to do. Either way, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys learned something. Now, this video is not for everyone. This is Evil Abyss, so like it's not like noob friendly. If you guys want to see some other strats with this boss, then I suggest you check out the other videos. They have some free-to-play units and stuff like that, so it's not going to have like EX Virgil, it's not going to have like Flame Chun-Li or anything like that. So yeah, just check out my previous videos if you have any questions, and I'll catch you later.